It's quite clear that during Transformers Legacy, not only have other Transformers fans have been getting a lot of good representation of their favorite characters throughout this entire series, but Armada fans have been taken care of quite a bit throughout this whole trilogy of Legacy. Everything from the Commander class Optimus Prime to Hotshot and Starscream. Armada Megatron got a figure. But now we get to see what the redeco of that Armada Megatron is going to be. Of course, we should already know it's going to end up being Galvatron. But on top of that, for those of you who've been waiting for your pre-orders to go in for the Titan class Tidal Wave, they're available now, and we're going to take a look at some of the images of them all. On top of that, I already talked about the multi-pack for the Generation 1 characters that are coming along with the Earth mode for Hound. We now get our first look at one of them, and we get to see probably where they're going to be going with all 5 of them. Of course, got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. So I want to thank each and every one of you who continues to support the channel and is watching all of my videos and been thumbs upping and subscribing or commenting or sharing them or what have you. I've done a lot of retrospectives within this past year, everything from Prowl and Hound, and I recently did Brawn and Perceptor and Beachcomber. But, you know, if you are helping support the channel, taking a little bit a step further, you can, of course, become a channel member, or you could support me on Patreon. Of course, I am wearing my Con World Order t-shirt, which is available here on my TeePublic store, in addition to a bunch of other stuff that you can see from my Run Amok and Runabout and my Friendosaurus, and, of course, my Kicking It Old School and Guns Don't Kill People, Megatron Kills People. All that kind of fun stuff is there, so you can check out the link in the description below. So I made mention of this before, that they are doing a 5-pack of figures that is going to be coming with Earthrise Hound, or Earth Mode Hound, I should say. And a lot of people are like, oh man, I had already bought those figures. I already did, you know, a little extra to them and what have you. But they're releasing this pack as a 40th anniversary pack, and they're going for a cartoon accurate look, it would seem. A lot of us who really wanted to just get Hound and be happy with the rest of them, yeah, it kind of stinks that we're going to have to pay a little bit extra just to get Hound, but it seems that they are not just giving us the figures as they were first released. They are going and taking them to make them a little bit more cartoon accurate. Here you have our first look that someone had Trailbreaker. They have the first Earthrise Trailbreaker, which the plastic on that figure, it's supposed to be black, but when you really take a look at it, like you put it through like a lot of light, it almost looks like a really dark brown. It does not look black. So instead what they're doing is they're going with the animation model and going for a lighter gray for him, which does look a little bit better, but they're not releasing him with transparent plastic. They're going with solid plastic. That was something that some people were wondering whether or not they were going to do that with the other, Autobots in that set. It seems that Sunstreaker and Jazz, a lot of people had problems with Jazz, and some people had an issue with Wheeljack. All of those toys are going to end up having solid plastic with them. It looks like they're going for a cartoon accurate deco, which means that Wheeljack will be more of a white color instead of an eggshell color. You know, instead of a dark brown for Trailbreaker, which he's supposed to be black, they are going for a light gray. They're going for, hopefully it'll be one color yellow for Sunstreaker, which would look great. And of course, Hound is in that set. I gotta say, like, I understand people's plight. I'm like on the fence. This is where, like, you know, I hear you. Those of you who are complaining, I totally get it. And those of you who are like, you know, hey, I missed out on Trailbreaker. I missed out on Sunstreaker because those figures did not hit every shelf, you know, did not hit every store in certain areas. And so now this is giving those people an opportunity to get them. And I'm very, very happy about that. It's so, And the set is going to be $110, which for 5 figures, that ranks out to about $22 US dollars a piece, which is around the same price as the deluxe is right now. Not bad pricing, all things considered. It just kind of stinks for those who already had the older versions and didn't want to spend extra to get, characters that they already had. So, like, I hear you. I'm on your side there. I think I'm probably going to definitely go to get this set just because I really want that Hound figure, but I kind of like the new decos for the new versions of those characters. But the big news, of course, is that Tidal Wave is now available for pre-order. He is already sold out on Hasbro Pulse. However, I do have links in the description for both Entertainment Earth and for Amazon, and you'll be able to just click on one of those links and be able to pre-order him through one of those sites to be able to get him. I think he's coming out in June. I think he's going to be $200, US dollars. Now, some people have zoomed in on the box art here to take a look at who some of these smaller bots are that are fighting him, and they look like generics. If you're not familiar with Transformers Armada, if you've never watched the cartoon, they reused some Generation 1 animation models and recolored them in weird color schemes as background generic Autobots that ended up getting blasted or shot to scrap. And so that's where they're going with it as far as with Tidal Wave. Now, when you take a look at the robot mode, it is a very cool looking robot mode, I will say. A lot of detail has been put into him. It looks like they've given him better posability for his hands. Now, I sold off my Micron Legend Shockwave, which is the Japanese version of Tidal Wave, because the US colors for the original Tidal Wave were like this green color. Someone higher up in the Hasbro chain said to the Transformers team, "You've got too many purple Transformers, so you need to change his color." And yet, the cartoon had already chosen to use Tidal Wave in the purple, so it was already a problem there. And, since in Japan, Shockwave was named Laser Wave, they named Tidal Wave as Shockwave, and so he, instead of saying Tidal Wave all the time, he would actually say Shock, Shock, Shock. In Japan, he ended up becoming Shock Fleet was his name. So it's kind of interesting to know those things. Now, with this Titan class figure, the big figure itself can transform into the large, ships that are part of his whole fleet mode, right? They can be the one unified vehicle, or they can be, separate pieces. But in addition to that, there are 3 additional pieces that are going to come off of the back of him, and you're going to be able to transform those smaller vehicles and combine them with Armada Megatron. And what they have pictured here is our first look at Armada Galvatron. So they are going for that, white tank, with a purple robot and the weird maroon colored horns. But it actually will look better, in my opinion, with Tidal Wave, the pieces of Tidal Wave attached to him. So I think it was a smart move on their part, because if you only go for one or two of either Armada Megatron or Armada Galvatron, and you go and get Tidal Wave, you're going to end up combining him with one of the other. But if you're going for both figures, obviously you're going to need 2 separate Tidal Waves to be able to even do that. Now, the large robot itself can not only transform into a large ship that can separate into 3, but he can also transform into a base mode. I think they've been doing this with all of the Titan class figures, that they kind of have a base mode, or at least kind of like falls in line with it. And it's serviceable. This is the actual vehicle in and of itself, with all 3 vehicles attached and combined to form that one, unified vehicle. And all in all, I mean, it serves its purpose. A lot of Armada fans are eating good. They're getting a lot of great figures that they've been wanting. The Armada Tidal Wave figure is most likely going to end up selling out, wherever it is sold, even though it's $200. It's expensive, but people really love the character. So I'm sure it's going to end up selling quite a bit. I'm probably going to get a retrospective done on this character in the near future, just to cover the fact that, hey, you probably want to know the history on this guy. you know, if you intend to know more about them. And I want to do that more. There's a lot of different characters I want to cover with retrospectives in the near future. And I would not only want to do the retrospectives, but there's some discussion ideas that I've got floating around that are, you know, pretty cool, in addition to like doing some more t-shirt designs and what have you. So yeah, the channel's growing, and I got to thank you all for your continued support with that. But I want to know what you guys think about this Transformers news. Are you excited for Armada Tidal Wave, or are you excited for the 5-pack? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers news, retrospectives, and more coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.